I'm here with Tiffany Wong, who's a stalwart of our ChinaX staff, and we thought we'd show you today something about how to use ChinaX Map, which is part of Harvard University's World Map platform. So we've looked to worldmap.harvard.edu, and then we have a choice right up here between Create a Map, View a Map, and About. About is very good for help, by the way, if you need to get any help. And so we're going to click on View a Map, and then we have to search, because there are already, as you see, there are over 5,000 map layers in here. That's a lot of maps. And so I'm going to type in ChinaX Map. And so why don't we choose one of them? Why don't we choose Qin and Han? So I guess I should zoom out a bit first, right? I can also do this with my mouse wheel. And I just press my mouse button and I can just move the whole picture right around. At the moment, we're showing Bing Aerial. That's a satellite-based map. Base maps, remember, are things that we can't really control. This is a Google map, which is meant to show roads. And if I hold down Shift and just draw a square with my mouse, you can see I'm getting down to ever finer representations of roads and rivers and things like that. You could have the Google Hybrid, for example, which is a satellite map, but also with modern roads. Although it has lots of modern places on it, I really like Google Terrain. And the reason why is because we can get such extraordinary detail. Look, if I go into these mountains right here and just do a really, really small area, look how detailed that is. I can see the contour lines that are even there. But in one big part of the world that we care a lot about, which is China, you're not allowed to use Google and look at Google Maps. So that's why I put in Bing rather than Google Satellite, Bing Aerial, because that we know that's available in China. So the overlays actually are sets of categories. I can open them or close them, right, like this. And so let's say I want to learn something about Qin. I could look at that whole category of overlays. Let's look at the Qin dynasty in 223 BC. And I just click on it, and it's going to show me right there. You see, it hasn't conquered all of China yet. But if we look at 221, now you see it has. And if I wanted to, I could take one layer and lift it up and put it on top of another. It's dragging and dropping. You know, one of the things that happens in the Han Dynasty is they have a census. Let's look at population as it was counted in 2 CE, second year of the Common Era. And you see that it's basically congregated in the North China Plain. Now I want to see how that relates to rainfall and precipitation. And so I have a climate and weather category, and under that I have one map layer showing precipitation. And you see my population just disappeared. So what am I going to do?
You can change the transparency of
I
it.
can. But, you know, we call transparency here, we call it opacity. But it means the same thing. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to go to Layer Properties. And it tells you where this is from, it tells you about and things like this, but it also says Display. Now watch what happens. Now I see both. I see the wet areas, and I see that Han has almost no population down here in the wet areas, and it's really in the drier North China Plain. And if I show you where county seats were, you'll see that they're predominantly in the North China Plain as well. And so that's how we use opacity to be able to see different layers. But there's more we can do. Suppose I want to learn about one of the places on the map. And so you see this thing called Identify up here? I click on Identify, and then I click on one of my points. It turns out that little point is called Yunyang Xian, the Han Dynasty Xian. And we can see it right there in Chinese and in English. Now, do you know what gazetteer is?
No, what is gazetteer?
So give me the name of a place in China.
Kunming.
Kunming, okay. So I'm going to look up Kunming. I could actually do it in Chinese too if I wanted to. And I find Kunming Xian, I find all these places. So it's not just looking at this map, it's looking at the whole database.
Oh, wow.
Suppose I create this map and I want to send it to you. So I'm going to hit link, copy that, and if I just paste that into an email,
It'll be exactly the same.
So we've shown you some of the basic features. You know, there's something I didn't show you, which is how easy it is to register. So you can save your own map, and you even can upload your own data. But in this case, Tiffany and I are going to log into my account. And so now let me go back to ChinaX Map. Now I'm going to go to the Sung Dynasty, the northern and southern Sung, late 10th through 13th century. You notice there are no overlays because we just began working on this. And what I want to do is I want to add a layer. Let's try searching for Sung and see what we get. We have lots and lots of layers. But I could also search like this. It wouldn't work for period, but I could search by area. Because I've said Sung and I've said that area, I have 38 possible layers. Why don't I do this? The Northern Sung examinations, the Grand Canal in Sung. The Grand Canal is very important to connect the north and south. Add selected layers. There they are. So now I'm going to shift and draw a box around this area. And so now I'm seeing the Sung, and I'm seeing something about the examinations, where people came from. And this actually makes an interesting point.
Yes, way more people in the south.
More examination people in the south, but not in the far south. We want to thank you all for watching. World Map and ChinaX Map offers lots of possibilities. Have fun, and remember, you can make any map you want to all on your own. You don't have to do it our way.